Hey, thank you so much, guys, for being out here with us. Out here with It T.A.D Podcast. I just want to appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart, man, for being out here listening, commenting, sharing, liking. And the only thing I'm out here to say to you is please keep doing it. You know, like us on Facebook, follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, on Twitter, as well as Instagram, and just keep it grinding. We'd just like to say, man, we appreciate you so much. And for myself, Duji, and all the rest of the people who are behind bringing all of this into fruition, we just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And as is the holiday season, we just want to bring the holiday cheer, care, and everything that comes in between. And thank you so much for being out here with us as well. So now, a couple of things. Secondly, I want to say this is if you see some of the questions on our pages, please don't hesitate to comment, engage with us, interact with us, because that's basically one of our major crucibles in all of this, is actually bringing people into the conversation arena where we can converse about it online and then take it into the podcast and elaborate on it a little bit more. So please don't hesitate to do that. And then thirdly, don't forget, follow, like, share, because that's the real bread and butter of all we have. And really appreciate you guys coming out. And don't forget, holidays isn't just about giving gifts, it's about giving your time, your energy, as well as some of your resources as well. So keep it 100. Peace, love, blessings from this side. Thank you.
True and direct, we about to keep it tight. Keep it tight. True and direct, we about to keep it tight. Keep it tight. True and direct, we about to keep it tight. Keep it tight. True and direct, we about to keep it. We about to keep it tight.
What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Keeping It Tight, where we always keep it
true
and direct all the time. Hey, I'd like to thank, we got a special guest tonight. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, y'all, I'm Tiara. Thanks for having me tonight.
Hey, I'm glad you could finally be here, girl. I'm glad you could finally be here. How you been, Derisu?
Man, you know it, man. Just been great. Another day of life, man. I'm happy as fuck.
Man, I got a question. How did that shark, that swim with the shark thing go?
Oh my gosh, bro. Yeah, I thought I was going to tell you about that. Man, in all honesty, man, it's my first experience. And you know how I like to really try to deviate away from the regular boundaries one would be able to live in. So I decided to go in this little shark experience, bro, man. It was my first time going on the water, putting on the whole scuba suit and everything like that. I felt like if I was in Jaws for like a couple of minutes, but, you know, I came out unscathed, so it is what it is.
I feel you. Tiara, I hear you a cheerleader now, or a cheer mom. How that's going?
Yeah, let us know.
Let's just say it's expensive, but it's very rewarding. So,
oh yeah. Always. Well, today we got a good question today. Now we have a female guest. I feel like we can kind of spice up these questions a little bit more. So today's question is, can a relationship go back to normal after someone has cheated? Can a relationship go back to normal after someone has cheated? We're going to give them a quick second to read the question, give y'all a quick second to think about y'all answers. And then, you breathing kind of hard to reach you. What you got on your mind? What you got on your mind?
Oh, man, bro. I mean, just thinking about it, man, you know, from a cheating perspective, but I'll answer the question. Yes, is my answer. That's my, I believe that a relationship can be fixed after a breaking trust has happened.
What do you think, Tiara?
I agree.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I actually agree with you, right? Yeah. I know it's surprising, but I do, though. I feel like if both people are in the relationship are really willing to work it out and, you know, willing to forgive each other and stuff like that, then I feel like, yeah.
I think you saying forgive is the biggest piece of that. Like, if they're willing to forgive. For me, I'm more leaning towards 75% no, 25% yeah. For me, and we'll just say, okay, if I was a cheater, which I'm not a cheater, if I was a cheater and, you know, my significant other did take me back, I would kind of be scared, always looking over my shoulder, like, is she always going to think I'm doing this or that when I'm going to the gym to play hoop with my boys or doing something like that. So I don't want that constant feeling that, she's always over my shoulder. So I personally, if I felt like I cheated, I'd be like, you know what, step away. If it was the table was turned and if it was my significant other that cheated, again, I don't think I can go back. I don't think I can go back because then I'm going to always be looking over her shoulder like, you done it to me once, you could do it again. And I just don't want that type of feeling, living with that type of feeling.
Oh, I mean, I feel like with females, like, I know for me, like, I don't care if my man ain't never cheated on me. Like, why you going to the gym for so damn long? Like,
Yeah.
You got a haircut, now you about to run errands? Like, no, we about to run these errands together. Let's pay these bills together because who you trying to look cute for with this fresh haircut? No, you need to come back home, come get me, we can go out together. Like, I don't think I got anything but, I don't know. That's just me, though.
Mauricio, how you feel about because I've always said this, like, men are like, we're like possessive, or we're like, this is our territory, or this is ours. So when another man takes that, we feel a certain way. How do you feel about that type of that question?
I mean, number one, like just like you said, man, a man is like an egotistic being, So whenever we feel like if somebody has come and conquered our little land, we feel some type of way about it. Like definitely we feel bruised, we feel battered. But I believe that there's something that is really kind of essential in a love relationship, which is the fact that you finally committed yourself to somebody and you're saying to that person that, hey man, regardless of whatever really goes on, I'm gonna be by you through it all. And in as much as there could be a break of trust or anything like that, the first thing you basically have to do is, number one, I mean, I speak from man's perspective. If I go into the other one, I know it's hard, just like you said, but I believe that in anything, man, just like the diamond, the little iron, before it becomes a sword or whatever, it's like you got to go through a process, man. And not only does it make your relationship stronger, but at the same time, it opens up different doors and avenues that you basically wouldn't have thought would be open at all. And that's really.
Like, my biggest question is, how do you know if that person is worth giving them another shot? Like, when do you know, like, okay, yeah, he or she cheated on me? What type of feeling what type of thoughts do you go through your mind here when, like, your significant other cheats and you're trying to figure out, okay, is it worth giving them another shot, or should I not and just move on with my life? What type of thoughts go through your head? Like, how do you determine, yes, I'm gonna go, or no, I'm not?
I feel like it's like weighing out like your pros and cons, like with that person. Like, are your good days better than your worst days with that person? I feel like that's how you really determine that. Like,
you think age?
And also, you have to know that person too in the age. Like if you older in life and you know what you want and stuff like that, you have your goals and set, and this person keeps like messing up and it's not what, it's not aligning with each other. And I feel like, okay, then yeah, it's time to let it go. But I really feel like it's really about the pros and cons.
Oh yeah, for me the same way. Like, yeah, I say I'm 75%, but if I, been with this female for a long period of time, we established a relationship, she's met my kids and we just bonded and clicked. And I feel deep down like, this is the one I want to be with. And if she decided to step out, for me, I would be thinking like, okay, one, did I do anything wrong? Like, did I not communicate enough with her, or was I not as affectionate with her that she had to go out and seek it from somebody else? If I feel like that, it was my fault, then I would feel like, you know what, maybe I can't get this another shot. I need to change something that I've done to make it better. Now, if it was completely like, I've been the perfect dude for her, all that, and it was just completely her, then that's where the pros and cons go out. Like, okay, is she worth, going this extra mile and always having to look over her shoulder, which I don't want to do. I don't want to micromanage the relationship. But if I feel like I have to do that, then is that something I'm worth? Is that something that I'm willing to do for a long period of time? What about you, Mauricio?
Man, I believe that pros and cons for me personally are weighed before one gets into a relationship or gets into that situation. The reevaluations of those pros and cons just because something has gone amiss, I don't think that, well, for me personally, that's not the perfect time for you to weigh those specific aspects. The main thing that you really need to do, number one, is, and I believe that we kind of shine away from that, is we need to, number one, be understanding, and then whoever is on the receiving part or the giving part is, hey, say I'm sorry. It's just the first thing you say. And then secondly, you're like, okay, let me make amends about a certain situation. What did I do wrong? And then that's when you further understand each person. Like, hey, this is the reason why I did this. You weren't really listening to me, or I was trying to look for this and that and the other. And then the second thing is, yeah, find some legit ways to move forward, which would be in the position of now where if it's you that was on the receiving end, you ask her, do you think I can still provide all of these things for you, or you have to still go all out? So that's when it cancels the micromanagement part. And if she says after a while, she's like, well, I don't think it was really working out. I probably already stepped out of this two weeks ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. And you can just humbly say, well, I guess I wasn't really perfect for you. And then you now that's accepting to move on with somebody after they've done this, you two have to ask yourself, am I just going to be here and resent that person for the rest of my life? Because nobody wants to be on either side of that perspective. So the last portion is now, how can we further move on to this and have a better relationship than we did before I found this out, or before you did this and that? But I think that if we do those basic things, man, we'll definitely come out in good ways, if you ask me.
Oh yeah. So a twist. So does it matter if your significant other tells you they cheated, or if the person who they cheated with comes to you? Like, will that change your thought process a little bit?
No.
So doesn't, so if he or she came to you and said, hey, I've been, having relations with your man, it won't matter?
No, because I'm gonna still beat that bitch ass, and I'm gonna still beat his ass. Like, you still cheated. And the fact that you got this girl crazy enough and bold enough to come to me and tell me, as they say, as a woman, I'm coming to you as a woman. Yeah, nah, it don't matter. If he told me, she told me, it don't make a difference to me. I don't give a fuck. Like, it is what it is.
So it doesn't matter. But you're still giving them a second chance if the pros and cons weigh out.
Yeah, I'm gonna come home and cook them dinner on Sunday. Yeah.
For me, it goes back to the men are real possessive. So I would really think about it if my girl came to me and told me. But if a man came to me, I'll be definitely like, wow, like you said, he really had the audacity to come to me all nonchalant, like, hey, bro, I did this with your. And after that, it's definitely over for me. But if my female came to me, I'd be like, okay, she knew she did something wrong, and she's owning up to her mistake and coming to me and try to, make amends and try to make this relationship a lasting thing and not just end it like that. What about you? Go ahead.
So with that being said, do you feel like women are more like, do women forgive more than men then? Because I feel like women, like if a man cheats, like if their boyfriend or their husband cheat, like we're more willing to like try to like forgive them and try to make it work and take them back. But with men get like really, really hurt. Like they can't handle being cheated back on. So therefore,
like I said, like men are very like, possessive and like territorial. Like we're real territorial. Like we're not saying that y'all are property, but it's like, this is our woman, her body is our body. And to let another man take that is like, it messes with us mentally. It's like, wow, this man was able to break through the barrier and get to, what belongs to us. Not calling our property, but what belongs to us. So I would say, I don't know. What about you, Felicia? I'm kind of.
I mean, on that point, I'll say the one thing is we feel like if, number one, when we're giving our heart and our souls and become vulnerable to another person, we kind of expect, number one, realism, truism, anything that has to do with those specific things. And whenever now it's like, okay, fine, you broke my trust, or obviously all of a sudden now somebody else has gotten into my territory, you feel ashamed. And I believe that is the shame now that doesn't really let you open up and allow yourself to be in that position again. You close up. So it's like a reaction mechanism. You go into your little hole, be like, nah, I don't want anybody else to hurt me like this. Because for the first time, you feel like if I've opened up my whole person and allowed somebody to come in, and this person has done me like this, so bam, he closes up and he's reacting. It might take him a couple of minutes or a couple of years in order for him to open up to another person, open up to you again. But in all honesty now, we need to preach more about understanding what those emotions are, being able to control them in a way, and then properly focus on the problem at hand. So if that is the problem, forget about the little boy mentality about whether or not you're open or vulnerable. Things happen all the time. Do you treat your anger the same way? Do you treat your joy the same way? Do you treat all the emotions the same way? But all of a sudden, you're breaking trust. You just want to like disappear. I'm out, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, there could be other ways to handle this. And that should really be the school of thought more than anything else.
Yeah, I think that's a big issue right there. Like, as soon as we get in a relationship and we just see one thing that we don't like, we're quick to just get up out of there instead of working it out with the other person. And that just goes with maturity for me. Like,
Yeah.
You can't be in a relationship with an immature person and expect that relationship to go pretty far because, they're going to be set in their ways and not know that it takes two to make a relationship. So they're going to be like, well, I want the relationship to be this, 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 this. Where you're more compromised, you're like, okay, well, I will, get rid of all my boy days and just have one boy day a week, a Sunday, just to give you more time because that's what you want. And they're on the other end saying, I want all your time. So that's like, you got to be mature in a relationship and realize that it takes two to make this thing work. So I think that's correct, Reese. Like, men need to realize that it's okay to be vulnerable at times. It's okay to have emotion and it's going to happen, like you said. We're not immune to it. People go through stuff every day. There's not one dude out here that has not been cheated on. There's not one dude that has not been cheated on. Do you got anything to say, Tara?
No.
No. Okay. We're going to switch it up a little bit. No, we're going to keep it on it. Does having kids affect that? Does having kids affect that?
Yeah.
And what ways here?
Like for me with my daughter, like because she has built a relationship with like my husband or whatever, I feel like if we were to split, it would be not only hard for me, but for her too, because she's used to seeing this person every day. She used to be this person being in her life and stuff like that. Like she knows like on a weekend, he's coming home and all this other stuff. So like, if he's not on the phone with me or if he's not coming home or stuff like that, she's asking questions. And I feel like it makes the process harder to let go because then it's like your child is constantly like, when you're trying to mentally like block this person out of your life and trying to erase all these moments and stuff like that out of your life, like it's like your child's like, Mommy, where's this person at? Mommy, where's this person at? And it's just,
hi, it's your girl Tiara. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, and follow Keeping It T.A.D. Also, don't forget to come and follow me on Instagram at TiaraXNicole, and happy holidays.
Well, actually, Reese, does having kids affect that decision on getting back with the other person? Or
Man, I think I'll give a two-part answer to this. First one is I've seen a situation where kids have made you stay in a marriage that you didn't want to be in for a lengthy period of time. And then secondly, now, I think with the other thing with this relationship with somebody else is having to see your kids watch you fail at relational matters, man, basically touches you in deep places. You want to protect that person's mind or that kid's mind in a way in which you don't want them to see your failures. But I think it's brave in order for them to actually see it in some way, shape, or form, because the perfect image that we're trying to portray to our kids is one that is flawed, because we are flawed people. We make mistakes all the time, and we need to let these kids know that perfection is not the key. I need you to grow. Growth is my only thing. I want you to make better decisions than I have. I want you to do things differently or do things better than I have done them. And even if I fail currently in this relationship, guess what? Bounce back, and you're going to watch me do it, and I hope you learn something from this. And that should be the main key.
Yeah, it goes back to the question we had a couple of videos ago about what pain did you want to keep away from your kids. And I think that pain is something that I would want my kids to see me go through, but then also see me grow out of it. Like, not let it keep me down. They'll see, oh, Dad, what happened? Where did this person go? She's not here anymore. We're going to continue moving on. Instead of me just sulking in the pain and just going around moping all day, get up and just continue to do what I normally do. And my kids will be able to see, I'm like, okay, breakups are a thing. Being upset, being sad are a thing. It shouldn't affect me with going to do anything else. Where if they saw me, break up with an individual and just mope around the house all day, not eating, they're gonna pick up on those emotions and be like, "Oh, is this how I'm supposed to react to the situation?" And to answer the question I asked you guys, for me, I try not to introduce my kids to any person that I talk to until I really figure out what this person is about. Before, like earlier today, my kids saw this person the first time I saw this person, so it was like, hey, they seen him the first time. But now I'm trying to keep them away just so I can make that establish certain boundaries, like, you know, is this person mature enough to even be around my kids? You know, are they safe?
Right.
Stuff like that. So but I kind of block myself from even getting to that point because I already try to establish those boundaries before I even let them, you know, even meet my kids. So anybody got anything else to say about that before I move on to the next question? All right, T, I want to ask you this question. Is it, I'm not saying it's true or not, but is it true that, you know, when a female breaks up with a dude and they jump into another relationship, was she already talking to, do females have options while in relationships? I'll ask that. I'll ask that. Like, do y'all have a bench? Y'all have y'all star player, which is y'all current person on the court. Do y'all have a bench of dudes?
I feel like not just females. I feel like everybody has other eggs in other baskets. Yeah. I feel like it may not even be like someone like you're talking to like secretly like behind the person that you're in relationships with back. I feel like it could just be like a friend, like a guy friend that's like always there for you, or always like you're always talking to and stuff like that. And then when that relationship ends, like he's there and he just happens to come in and it just goes off like that. I don't always think it's like, oh, like I'm sneaking around like on Snapchat or Instagram trying to like talk to somebody secretly. Like, no.
You think boundaries are established? Because like from a male point of view, you know, if I see that we just broke up and this guy that you so-called was, you know, always helped you out, instantly is the one that I'm gonna start thinking like, wow, was something going on prior? So for me, it's like, do you guys set boundaries, or is it just?
Well, for me in my relationship, I can have any male friends. So therefore it's just like yeah, there's boundaries, of course. Like if it ain't no hi bye, like I see you in like at the store, that's about it. Like we ain't no like communicating like on Snapchat, ain't no communicating on Instagram, or you trying to come over my house and hang out just to watch a football game. Like no, it ain't none of that. Like
do we have a lineup, a secondary lineup, just in case our main fails? Do you think?
Man, look,
speaking for the generalized,
the dudes. Okay, I'll say this one. We need to remember, you already broke up. Anything that happens after that decision has been made shouldn't be none of your damn business in the first place. You shouldn't be going around snooping on your ex, trying to find out what they're doing. Whether or not they're moving on fast or slow, that is their business and how they're going to handle their lives moving forward. To say whether we have benches and all that, obviously you're true to somebody. That means you're in a relationship with that person and you're making sure that you're not letting anybody come in and infiltrate your relationship because you're trying to, by all means possible. By the time you're broken up now and then you decided to move on, you're moving on the premise that, hey, I've left. I'm not trying to stay here for 2 years, 1 year, 1 week, 1 month for you. I'm trying to move on with my life too because I've learned my lesson, and that comes to a personal level. Have I learned my lesson about what went wrong in this relationship so I can then go on to this one as a better person and a more educated human being? And if I feel like if I've learned those lessons and the person that I'm about to step into life with understands where I'm coming from and all that stuff, man, it's a green light, man. But during the relationship, though, just make sure you're being truthful to you.
No, I was agreeing with you all night, but now like this is where I cut the line at, because it's just like I feel like if you're able to hop into another relationship, like as soon as we done, then I feel like you secretly had this person, you've been this female been secretly just waiting for her spot to shine, and you've been entertaining this female while we was together. Like
I kind of agree. I kind of agree. I feel like, you know, if it's, and you're right, both of y'all are right. You know, you're broken up, you should be able to move on. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, were you giving me your all? Like, if you're so quick to just jump, that means, because you know, we can't say nobody has to go a certain period of time to grieve, but there should be some length of grieving. You know, you just broke up. What do you say?
I'm just.
I mean, you know, if you really care for that person, then there should be like a couple of days or week or month of, you know, some just getting over it. But if you're able to just snap, crackle, and
I'm heartbroken for a whole year. to make sure, like, because let me tell you, people be breaking up, right? And they be trying to move on, but then they still be secretly wanting you back. And then y'all next, then now you got a triangle. And it's like,
Oh, yeah.
So I need for you to have like a whole year to get over me and make sure because like you're gonna come back. I already know it is. Like you're gonna come back. So it's just like I need to make sure it's a whole year in between. You ain't talking to nobody, I ain't talking to nobody. And after that year, then that's it.
I think speaking like that, like that's a robot to me. That's a robot to just be like, okay, well, they're doing their thing. We're human, so we're like full of emotion. Female full of emotion, men full of emotion. We may not show it as much. We're gonna constantly look back and see what they're doing. We may not do it intentionally, but we're gonna be like, our friend may be like, hey, so and so was talking to this person. We wasn't thinking about it, but we're like, oh, really? And then you start to dig, like, wow, were they giving me your all or this? And then you start going down this tunnel of just like this craziness. You got something to say to me, Sue? I hear it. I see you.
No. I mean, look, I'm really trying to get this. Like, before you even break up, or maybe in my sense, before I come to that position, right? Is number one, I've given you 50 million chances. That means I've used love or my care for you to overlook so many different things. And when it has now come to that juncture when it's not like, hey, the bucket is full, I really can't take it anymore. This is now time for me to act and react. And honestly, I think that more than anything, men are more prepared in breakups than women are. Or whoever initiates the breakup is more prepared because they've kind of like gathered their emotions and they can move on quicker or faster. But to say that there's a duration of that stuff, for me personally, it's just like, yeah, from person to person is different. But I think the key is I learned what my mistake was, because in every situation or every relationship, the two parties are kind of like have at fault at it. So you two have to learn from that situation, and then moving on to the next person, you've learned lessons that are probably going to move you through this new relationship for the rest of your life, hopefully. And that is like the most important thing. If you're learning in one day, that's fine. You're a quick learner. If you don't, man, guess what? Keep riding the bicycle until you're able to get the training wheels off, man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep following, man. I'm trying to get like the Reese, man, because like I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't. How do you do it, man? I can't. You gotta have a strong mind. I think. Is that what you got? Like a strong mind and just like will and all that?
I've been in battle, man, so I guess I got strong mind.
Oh yeah. Like I've had many battles myself, man, but still I think I wear my heart on my sleeve and I throw myself into the relationship so hard. And just to see that, the other person didn't put enough energy that I think they could have into the relationship. And it's like, wow. And just to see them go into somebody else, I'm like,
yeah,
like,
because
lost time.
If I was to break up with somebody right now and I see him on Instagram or Snapchat spoiling another female and he won't do that for me, oh yeah, now we got a problem, because I felt, where was that at when I was in a relationship with you? So it's just like, now I feel like you weren't giving me your all when I was giving you my all. So it was just like, yeah, I definitely feel some type of way.
No. But if you were like Douche now, or myself, that you gave everything in the relationship, you did everything that you could do and all that stuff, and now all the female's gonna be is jealous, man, because now she's seeing you do those specific things that she didn't adore with somebody else now, and you just pissed off at that now. But you could have realized that when you were in the relationship, man. Make amends to whatever situations you were trying to feel like it was bigger than you. Get to sit down and talk about those certain situations a little bit more. Get to understand. Put your ego to the side. Put your pride to the side. Put your controlling factors to the side. Just say, hey, it's me and you against the world, man. There's nobody else here. And that's just how it has to be. But if the jealousy part needs to be, you need to fix it while you are still in the relationship. But the minute you take your badge off, man, it's free game if you ask me, man.
Yeah, I feel like you said earlier, like people are so quick to just shoot out of a situation when they just see the first thing that they don't like. If you relationship nowadays are not as long as they were back in the day.
Right.
They, like I said, people are so quick to just get in. If they don't like it, I don't like it, I'm out of there. But you need to really, before you even get to that point of like marriage or like relationship, you need to really just be with this person. I like to say be with this person on you need to see the person in 5 seasons. You need to see them when they're sad, happy, excited, angry, all that. Because you don't want to just see this person's angry side when you're in a marriage. Because now you're like, whoa, I did not see this. You want to get all that, all 5 seasons of this person before you even get into a relationship. So seeing them, are they happy? Seeing them, are they sad, angry, just all the emotions, so you can know how to react to that and it not be the first time you see it. So just, getting to know each other, getting to know the person is as basic as you can get it, before you jump into the relationship or jump into having kids with somebody. Because when you have kids, man, that's an 18-year contract that you just signed up, and there's no backing out of that. So
21 if they still in college, and 26 if in the state of Alabama.
Facts. So yeah, like before you even get to that point, you need to make sure that you know the ins and outs of this person, at least the basics, to where you can like, okay, this is how they're going to act. And just make sure that they meet up with you mentally. You don't want to be a go-getter, have that go-getter mindset, and then be with somebody who's just okay with just cruising on the low. Like, you're gonna irritate yourself. Like, man, why are you not getting out there and making something out of yourself? Or you're gonna feel like you're trying to build up a person, and you don't want that. So make sure you figure out a person, know a person, understand a person, know what they're about, what they like to eat, like type of music they like, their favorite color. Just get to know a person. What y'all think about that?
I agree.
And I think that from that perspective is, man, there's so many ways to handle a relationship. And I feel like if number one, if you love yourself, you can love anybody else in return. And there are a lot of people here working around, they're not really understanding the truth or the efficacy of how to love themselves properly. Because when you do that, you tend to see not only you always in a giving posture, that means there's really nothing you want to receive back in return. I just want to share the love I have for myself with you, which is why I want to be with you in the first place. But I got a question in this whole situation. What do you think is fueling this broken relationships that we currently have in our community or in our society? Is it the social media trends? Is it the fact that we've been wired to always look for something better from a very young age, or through the things we see? I really don't understand as to why is it that our forefathers, like our parents and our grandparents, understood what it was to be in a longer relational situation. And we in this current generation, we're just doing the 1 year, 2 year, half year, 6 months, 2 weeks type stuff.
For me, honestly, I think it has a lot to do with social media influence and the music that we listen to, just the entertainment.
Yes.
Because it's just like you have rappers and singers and stuff like that talking about, oh, if this one doesn't work, go get another one. Like,
yeah, that's a big thing.
that's
Like,
just what it is.
Like you have like Beyonce, for example, to the left. What does that mean to you? To the left. That song? What is that telling you, Tier?
I got another one coming in like 5 minutes. So
okay, with that saying, my thing is like, how can she sing this song and give this out to us when she's not living it herself? Like, Jay-Z, I'm not going to talk about the relationship, but something happened to where, she could have lived by her lyrics, but she didn't. So how can she preach this to y'all and not do it herself? But then y'all, not saying y'all, but just females in general, like, oh yeah, if he cheated on me one time, he gone, and just run with it like that, or like with the Meg Thee Stallion, hot girl summer stuff. Like,
I mean, I feel like it has to do with with our parents. Our parents be like, they tell us to do something, but then they don't do it. Then it's just like, well, you told me to do it. Like, why aren't you doing the same? It's like practice what you preach type thing. But I feel like with celebrities is a different thing. Like, they're here, their agenda is for one thing only. It's not for them to live by. It's for them to put it out. And it's for us as consumers to take what we're supposed to take out of it and live by it, I guess, in a sense. And
that's what I'm asking. I'm like, why can't women or men, see that, okay, the song is nice, but that's not how we need to live our life. I feel like they take that and run with it. Like, you see that on a daily basis, hot girl summer.
I mean,
Beyonce.
but like I feel like if you're a grown person, I feel like like these are just lyrics. I feel like you talking about the younger generation, like that's like all on TikTok doing all these TikToks and stuff like that. They live their life like through these celebrities and stuff like that. I feel like, yeah, they're going to be like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and stuff like that. Like, they look up to these folks. So therefore they feel like they should live their life like these folks.
But you got to think, like, majority of the women over the age of like how many women over the age of 50, 40 are married and in a long relationship?
No, let's Google
Because
it.
those songs are the ones that hit that generation. How many women over 40? I'm not saying I know the numbers, but like, how many women you think over the age of 40 are like in a relationship?
It
I don't think
depends. It
it's many.
depends. It depends on the demographics, though. That would be the first thing. Obviously, Caucasians have a longer, Caucasians, Hispanics, some people from other races as well have longer relational situations than Black community who is basically suffering from this pandemic, or which I call it the relational pandemic that we're going through. So, in all honesty, and I feel T.A.D on that whole situation. Social media, music, plays a huge role in a lot of these situations. And more than anything, you need to be mature enough to consume a certain product and then know how to sieve out what you might like the beat, or you might just so. But then, I mean, there's so much we can dive into in that topic, and I believe today might not be the day to open it up, but it does play a huge role. And we as consumers, we need to then either put a stop to it, because a manufacturer cannot manufacture something that is not making any money. That's why we moved away from diesel engines or some archaic ways of doing things and all that, because they were not consumers to have it. But as far as we as consumers continue to consume this product, they're going to continue to give us trash, and we're going to keep on eating trash. Listen.
Yeah, well, I think we're running out of time, guys. So on top of consuming that trash, man, go ahead and consume that like button, that share button, that comment button, man, and keep this podcast going. And we really appreciate y'all. T.A.D, man, we appreciate you for joining us. You are our first guest. Don't be the last time you're on here. We really appreciate you, man. These topics were juicy. They were nice. You know, we got some good material on here, man. I appreciate it. Hey, well, this is another episode of Keep It T.A.D, where we try to keep it
real
and
direct all the time. All
right,
thanks, y'all.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Night.
We about to keep it tight, keep it tight. True and direct, we about to keep it tight, keep it tight. True and direct, we about to keep it tight, keep it tight. True and direct, we about to keep it tight, keep it tight. True and direct, we about to keep it. We about to keep it tight.